So guess what? I'm a massive FNAF fan. Who fucking knew? Although I did fall off after Sister Location, which was kinda just meh, I still kept up with the series thanks to Matthew Patthew and his ever worsening mental state. And as such, when I got my hands on Help Wanted, I played through its flat mode and I was hooked again. And when I moved out and went to university, I managed to get my hands on a PS5 and a copy of Security Breach. Honestly, I found the game pretty fun, if a little tedious. But to understand why, we should start with the plot. We begin with a very well animated CGI cutscene, so this is where all the budget went. Once on stage, Freddy discovers a small child and dies. A few moments later, he's alive and now has a kid in his stomach. This keeps happening, Freddy, what the hell? Once freeing the kid from his stomach hatch, we find it's this gremlin called Gregory. Gregory here is an annoying little shit and I love him. We are given the task to escape and grab something to free Freddy. We then head under the Pizzaplex and learn about a ton of cut rooms.
Utility tunnels connect all the attractions.
We can go anywhere in the building?
Correct. Fazerblast, Monty Golf, Roxy Raceway. They are all accessible to staff, with high enough clearance, of course. Guests are never allowed down here, but yours is a special situation.
Before having to break off from Freddy and go down a hallway where we're chased and then locked in a room. Not to worry, the worst camera system in the universe is here to save us, but only sometimes. We then escape into the entrance area, have to get a security badge upgrade, and instead of getting a security badge upgrade, we get a daycare pass. So we then sneak into daycare, get jump scared by the daycare attendant, turn off the lights, turn him into—
Oh, why would you do that? Lights on! Lights on! I warned you! I warned you! Naughty boy. Naughty boy. It's past your bedtime. You must be punished. 99.
Then use the generators in the play structure to turn the lights back on. Why are the generators in the play structure? Well, according to the books, because they have to be. Well done. Well, very great explanation. After escaping, the plot just kind of stops. Like, all we do after this is find an escape route, get White Woman jump scared, escape, find Freddy's been powered off, but is also somehow functional, despite missing the hourly recharge.
You on the monitor. I didn't think he could stand up.
Consider it a second wind.
Freddy.
We then get into parts and service, head through like one of the 3 scary parts of the game to get extra badge, return to parts and service, free Freddy, upgrade him, destroy the bots, free Freddy, upgrade him, and now there are multiple endings and all of them are like really bad. If it seems like I just rushed through the game, welcome to Security Breach. The endings are we either just run away from Vanny, steal a van, go to a fire escape where the main villain of the game, Vanny, actually shows up for once, and Freddy drops her off a building before 2 Vanessa show up. What the hell does this mean, Steel Wall? We could take on Vanny and kill her, or free her, or go all the underground and not kill William Afton. He just looks like William, acts like William, and uses William's fetish for rabbits. Don't worry, we can get into why this wasn't very well planned next time. So, this story is a fucking mess where the main villain of the game has about 5 seconds of screen time, the animatronics have actual thoughts and emotions, and possession seems to have nothing to do with it this time. And then there's also this thing! Fuck this thing. Anyway, as I was saying, the story is a mess just like the script, and if you go looking around you find evidence that at least Vanessa had her personality changed.
Gregory, is that you? Please come out. I'm here to help you. You've got to trust me.
So it's pretty clear the story got shuffled around and changed a lot. Probably because the whole Mimic's existence was changed multiple times and what the hell it meant. And also trust the game out like a year later than when it was said to come out. Yeah, this game was said to come out in 2020, came out in 2021, and was still so rushed it's only about 3 seconds long. But that also means if a game's rushed, its gameplay has to be bad, right? I mean, like, the gameplay can be boring, but I'm never bored while playing the game. There's a certain fun to rushing past the animatronics at a million miles an hour, or jumping on a single box and seeing them not know where the hell I am anymore. It's fucking hilarious. Of course the game wasn't meant to work like this, and if they ever took out the glitches and made the AI more stable, I don't think the game would be as fun. Like, this game is similar to like Sonic Boom or Sonic 06 where half the fun comes from breaking the shit out of it. Because when you're not doing that, the only threats around are threats you can rush past a million miles a minute. So they're not threatening in the slightest, especially when you get later into the game. And like one of them loses the ability to see. Because yeah, that's also another gameplay mechanic, I mentioned it before, upgrading Freddy. So throughout the game you have to decommission the different bots and shatter them, where you steal Chica's beak, Roxy's eyes, and Monty's not legs. Isn't this game great? Yeah, each of the upgrades is meant to make Freddy stronger, but Monty's upgrade does fucking nothing besides tear down some walls. But you can't even do it, it's done automatically, so what's even the point? And when you're not piloting Freddy like a Gundam, going on a series of fetch quests to try and get to 6 AM, as the timer doesn't progress until you get like a screwdriver or something. So I've already mentioned it, but it cannot be understated just how fucking broken this game is. It's the best part of this game. Like, you take away the fact it's broken, and you have a generic walking simulator with no threats, and you also get to add on the fact that the threats get even less threatening when you get either the Phascam or Phaser Blaster. Like, sure, one animatronic is almost always immune to it, but you're basically never gonna have that issue, because if you get the Phascam in Monty Golf, you're on the quest to stop Monty, and once you kill Monty, he's no longer immune to the Phaser Blaster. And Roxy, once she's shattered, basically never shows up outside the atrium in the final boss fight. If you want to even call this thing a boss fight. Yeah, so this game has multiple boss fights, right? At least the files call them that. But the Vanny boss fight is just walking through 2 corridors and pressing a button. The Chica boss fight is Trashland. Roxy's boss fight is Escape the Building, or whatever the hell this is, I don't know. Monty's the only character here with an actual boss fight, because there's some strategy involved, you have to do certain things, you have to reach certain parameters. And once it's done, he's dealt with. Sure, maybe you could include the not William Afton fight in here, but you're pressing 3 buttons and calling it a day. This isn't a boss fight, this is what we've been doing the entire game. And then this goes on to the open world. Like, this open world is really well detailed and has a lot to explore, but you're given no fucking reason to explore. Like, from exploring, you get like a toy to choke on or something. Hell, you're not even required to visit some areas. Like, most people don't even know Chica's Cupcake Shop was a thing before Ruin came out, because you're never incentivized to go there. All you get there is a hoodie and then leave. Like, at least with Roxy Salon, you know, you've got the Princess Quest machine there, which you have to get all 3 machines to get the best ending, the canon ending. If you think Burn Trap is the canon ending, you're objectively wrong. But if we're gonna go into the open world, why don't we talk about the presentation? Because this game looks fucking incredible! There's a lot of polish in this presentation of the game, which is really great for an indie game made by like 20 people on somehow the tightest and least tight deadline I've ever seen. But cracks do show, as there are a lot of models and stuff reused from Help Wanted, like this stage room, these rooms, and parts of the blob. Fight me on this. But when something isn't reused, like the glam rocks, they look really great. Sure, some things like these daycare halls have very loose polygons, so that you can see the jagged edges. But I think that's fine for this kind of game. When so much of this world has detail, letting off some jagged edges is perfectly fine. And let's not forget about the lighting, which is dynamic. It's also the reason this game doesn't fucking run well on PC. Because like, most speedrunners turn off lighting because lighting ruins everything. The lighting is so well detailed, it takes up so much processing power the game has to lag. And then going into the lighting, this also leads into the game not being that creepy or scary. Like, the game's too well built to be scary, if you get what I mean? Like, this place isn't run down or anything. The only weird part about this is the animatronics getting progressively more dirty as the day goes on. What the hell is with that? But in an update, they made it so you can turn down the brightness of all the lights in the game. But something being fixed in an update shouldn't matter. Most of the time, okay? Ignore Sonic Frontiers. So, in conclusion, this is a very stinky, meanie, poo-poo game that I just can't find myself hating, even as a FNAF fan. Other than its writing, you know, which they clearly had a story because they have the beginning, and it ends there. Not to mention, cutting in here, I didn't have this in the script originally, but I just remembered that Steelwool were given clues and Easter eggs to put into the game they themselves didn't know.
Will there be any Easter eggs in Security Breach?
It's funny, we have, so we got, you know, because of the deep lore and because of the history, there's a whole bunch of stuff that we were able to do that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I don't know, do you want to talk about some of the stuff that we got, J-Top, or you want me to?
Oh, you go for it.
So the so as we're building the game, you know, I get an email from Scott, and he says, "Hey, put this stuff in the game," and I look at it all, I examine it as a producer would do, and I say, I have no idea what any of this means. And he goes, "Yeah, put it in the game."
Meaning the Mimic twist, they probably didn't even fucking know it themselves. Which is like, what a great way to make a game, not tell the fucking devs who are making it what the hell is going on. That's what I was saying before then. The game is just too fucking big to be scary. There's so many wide open areas you can just ram right past the animatronics. If you're piloting Freddy like a Gundam, then the animatronics just don't fucking see you. Unless you spawn Gigamonty. Do not spawn Gigamonty! So, making the game more claustrophobic should make the game better, right? It should, right? Well, we can get into that next time when we get into Ruin. Because instead of the game now being bullshit, the game's just boring. No, I am not agreeing. Well, technically, yes, I share this opinion with Fiznom, but fuck that guy. So we can talk about all that when we get to Ruin next time. Assuming that is what I do next. But until then, stay safe. Bye!